You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh, yeah.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bro Down Podcast. I'm Andy Smith.
And I'm Tim Fulton.
And this is Dear Bros.
Dear Bros.
So on Dear Bros, we go on some advice columns and we read them and we give the bro advice. And then we read the actual advice from the... Is she a professional?
I mean, is this
from the more professional than we are person. And we just laugh about some shit, other people's pain. So first up, we have First of Her Name.
Give it to me. What does it go? How does it go?
Okay, so the title is actually Grown Daughter Wants to Trade in the Name She Grew Up With.
Ooh.
So I picked this one because it was kind of lighthearted. All the other ones were super dark.
Yeah, they got really dark.
Yeah, like CSI First 48 Hours dark. Okay, so Dear Abby, I have a grown daughter whom my ex-husband named Brenda. It's her middle name. She's married, a mother of 5, and lived abroad for quite some time. She's back in the U.S. now and living 50 miles away from our family. She now wants to be called by her first name, which is Riley. The problem is, everyone here at home knows her as Brenda. Presently, I still call her Brenda. How can this be resolved? Not happy in the South. Okay. So,
give me your thoughts. Give me your thoughts.
So my initial thing was if you walked up to me and were like, "Hey, I'm Mike now," I'd be like, "No, you're not. No, you're not. You're not Mike. You're never gonna be Mike." My initial thought was that's like somebody trying to give themselves a nickname.
Yeah.
Like you don't give yourself the nickname. It could be one of two things. It could be she just never liked being called Brenda, and now that she had a chance away from everyone to be called by her real first name, and now she just prefers that. So it could be that, or it could be something else. I don't know. I say like it's not like she made up the name. It's her actual first name.
And it's her first name. It's not like she said, "Oh, I'm going by my middle." It would be weirder if it was in reverse, you know?
Yeah.
But
I think too, though, like I could see it both ways. Like if her mom is just like, "No, I'm calling you Brent," like as that person, you either be like, "All right, people know me as a certain name." Like, do you have any people that you're friends with or in your family? They have like a certain nickname, which is like a it's your name, but it might be said a certain way or something like that. That only that person says.
There are a couple of people that kind of. We have one real quick story. My buddy James, when he went down to college, for whatever reason, he's like, I never introduced myself this way, but everyone down there called him Jimmy.
Oh.
So and I've known him since middle school. His name is James.
Hey,
it's
Jimmy.
James.
Jimmy.
So we would go down to visit him at college, and we'd be like, Jimmy, where are you going to the bar tonight? Blah blah blah. And we'd be like, who the fuck is Jimmy?
Yeah, same thing, right? Yeah. It's kind of the same thing. But do you think it would be weird if he came back and was like, "Hey, I'm Jimmy now"?
Yeah.
Like you have to call me Jimmy.
Yeah. We just wouldn't.
Yeah, see, I would think it would be weird for him to hear him be called Jimmy by you people. What do you mean by you people? Because like the only person I know that like you've heard my cousin, because we hang out all the time. My cousin Jamie, she calls me Ange.
Yeah,
and it's basically Andrew, but she just drops the Drew. That's how she started doing that, which is very weird. But it doesn't sound weird when she says it. But if somebody else were to do that, it would like it'd be a problem, like a big problem.
Who the fuck are you, bro?
Yeah, but like, so I would almost think it would be weirder for her to get called, Riley, for her than it would be for the other person. Yeah, like it's almost like I wouldn't respond to it.
And why would you want to? Unless there's like some trauma that went with her name. But like, why would you suddenly want to have it? I don't know. I don't get it. Is the moral of my story. Like, I don't understand why. It doesn't seem like a big deal to me. I don't get it.
Yeah. So, like I said, I mean, honestly, I would just, if I was the mom, I'd just be like, I'm really used to calling you that. Like, that's what I've been calling you forever. Like, if you really want me to call you Riley, like, I will. But, like, it just feels more natural and make me happy if I could still call you Brenda. Like, that's how I would approach it.
I would
If
just call him a completely third name and just screw
if it was one of my guy friends that did that, like, not a sibling or something, they might not be my friend anymore. Might have to just start slowly deleting their name out of my phone, one letter at a time.
I would just combine them. What's up, Rolenda?
Yeah. Just start calling them whatever, just anything but their names.
What's up, slut?
Slut. So, all right, this is the actual advice. Resolve this by using the name your adult daughter prefers. If you refuse, expect the distance between you two to become greater than 50 miles. See what she did there?
Ooh.
See what she did there? See,
I
see, I'm painting with a broad brush here, just my misogynistic brain. Do you think this would ever be an issue with guys?
No.
It wouldn't be. I don't see it being an issue with a guy. Like, this seems like some stupid shit to get hung up on.
Because I don't see one of our guy friends turning around and being like, I have a different name, you have to call me this now. So that it just wouldn't happen to begin with.
Yeah, we would form a Dungeons and Dragons circle and just like agree to X him out of the group and just banish him.
We would make a Dungeons and Dragons group just to kick him out.
Excommunication. Yeah, just start playing all different kinds of games just so he can't be invited.
Hey guys, you want to play board games tonight? Jimmy's not invited.
Yeah, just post it all over social media, just only for that purpose. Just to be like, anybody that's not named Jimmy can come.
If you go by James, it's fine.
Yeah, James is fine. James, roll on in. We got a fucking warm chair and a bag of chips and a soda for you. Jimmy can fuck off.
Jimmy can suck my dick. All right, ready for round 2?
I'm ready for round 2, bud. What do you got?
All right. Photographer neglects to mention risque work to girlfriend.
I have bad memory. I have bad memory on my side.
It's a play on words. Listen.
Okay, so what's the title again? Read it again.
Photographer neglects to mention risque work to girlfriend.
Okay.
Dear Abby, my fiance often leaves memory cards out on his dresser after a day of being alone. See what I did there? See what I did? I was by myself one day and looked at them. There were photos of a nude woman wrapped in his bed sheet on his bed back in 2018.
What's a memory card, first of all? Like an actual memory card, like for PS2? Sorry.
Oh my god. Yes, correct concept, but they're 4 cameras.
I know. I just had to do it because it struck a chord with me from PS2. I'm sorry for derailing that. Continue.
I can't even. What the fuck? Okay. So, nude woman wrapped on his bed back in 2018. In them, she is posing. We were dating when they were taken, but not yet living together or engaged. He dabbles in photography, but he never mentioned this or informed me he was doing this shoot. I found another set from 2017, prior to our relationship, that is not as quote-unquote tastefully done. Do I have reason for concern? I thought these things were professionally done off-site. His bedroom, though? Question mark. Uneasy in New York.
All right, there's a bunch of things in here. I'm going to get your take from this first before I start embarrassing myself with my mouth.
So, first and foremost, I normally would be bothered by people looking at each other's things.
Why are you snooping?
But
are you a white dog with a black nose that's sleeping on top of a fucking...
I'm going to go ahead and give her a pass at this one. It's not like she's in her boyfriend's house. She says that they live together. He's leaving these memory cards out in the open, and he's a photographer. He dabbles in photography. It would completely natural for someone's fiance to be like, I want to see what my boyfriend takes photos of. Well, just to see his work.
Let me ask you a question, Tim. if she didn't feel the need to do it behind his back, she would have asked him to look at the photos.
We don't know if it was necessarily, but we don't
Oh,
know.
we do, but we do because
No,
if
we don't.
we
I
don't
disagree.
we don't know for sure, but at the same time, I just think that she probably had something in her head that was making her curious as to something going on. Because
I disagree on that one. I wholly disagree on that
I've
one.
dated a lot of crazy people, bro.
I've been down. You've dated crazier, but I've been down that road too. And listen, he was leaving them out in the open. If you had a secret to hide, why would you leave it out in the open? Which is probably her same mentality.
I see what you're saying, but if I leave my wallet on the counter, it doesn't mean you get to go through it.
That I agree with, but there's a subtle difference here. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't see outright malicious intent. Is my point.
Okay, I can see the argument for that being like, I just wanted to look. My gut instinct says that there was an expectation that there might be something like that on there, or she was looking to just to make sure there wasn't like something like that on there. Because otherwise, I would have just asked someone to look at them. That's me. That's me personally. Just gut instinct. Totally possible. But okay, continue.
Okay. So that's first and foremost. I don't blame her for that. Where was I going with this? So she said that he took these pictures while they were dating, but never told her about it. It is a little weird. I want to know like what the time frame is. Like,
she said that they weren't living together and they weren't engaged, but they were dating.
But they were dating. So what does that mean? Like, people could be dating for well, I guess they weren't dating in 2017 because she said that one was not while they were dating. So if they had only been dating a couple of months, then I could see him being like, I did this thing. I didn't really want to tell her. She said it was quote unquote tastefully done. I don't know. I have a lot of mixed emotions on this one, dude.
Okay. So there's a couple things. If it wasn't on his bed, I could see it more in like I could probably see his defense more, I guess I should say. Like, but it's one of those things that we don't know how the relationship was. We also don't know like what kind of photographer. I mean, photographers usually have to fucking make money where they can, right? It's a freelance business.
Yeah.
So, a lot of people probably do photography that's like a lot of people would think would be like risque or something like that. I would assume. You see most of it on Instagram to begin with.
Yeah.
The fact that it was in his room on his bed, maybe they don't have enough money for a studio or whatever. She didn't feel comfortable on his bed. I don't know if it would be worse on his or her bed, but it's not a good look, right? The other one is there's more of it before they were dating, and that one was either in his bed or somewhere else. What was the one before they were dating in 17 in the bed too?
He didn't say.
That she has no hold over.
No.
She wasn't dating him at all. He's not required to tell her everything
I agree.
From his past. Like, I don't know where people get that like thing. Like, if someone's comfortable enough, they'll tell you what their thing is. If they're not, then they don't. Unless you just straight up ask. And then
that's different. That's different. So I'm gonna give this guy 2 props real quick. One,
okay.
He left these memory cards out in the open, like she said. Unless she truly did go digging for them, but let's take her at her word for this, right? If he really left them out on his table, that means he knew the risk of what he was doing. Either he's a complete idiot, or he thinks of it himself as it being innocent. So maybe he just never told her because, like, I could see it being weird. Like, hey, just so you know, when we first started dating, like, I am into photography. I took nudie pictures. Like, it's a thing I did. Like, I could see that being like turning someone off.
Yeah, it's also here's the other thing too. Like we're forgetting this because it's not like a conventional job. It's his job. How many people come home and like just talk about what they did at work?
Well, she says he dabbles in photography.
Oh,
so this isn't a profession. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Maybe he does make money off of it, and dabbling is like some side work, but it's not. I'm gonna go ahead and say this is not his full-time job.
Okay.
It ain't his
Yeah.
9 to 5.
Okay, so then that looks worse for him. I agree. Either he's like really bad at hiding things, or my first guess, if you're leaving him out there like that, that you don't think that you have anything to hide.
That's what I'm leaning towards too.
Yeah,
Plus,
especially since she says he always does it. It's not like she said, "Oh, he finally left a memory stick on the table, so now I'm going to look through it." You know what I mean?
plus that was the last one he did. I'm assuming if that's the last one she found, which means he stopped.
Yeah.
So you know what? This timeline is starting to make sense to me. If he was used to doing this sort of thing and like nudie pictures was like part of his game, and early on in their relationship, maybe they weren't so like exclusive yet. He still did it. And then at one point he said to himself, this gotta stop. I'm getting too close with this girl to take nudie pictures of other girls. You know what? I'm giving him a point here. 1 point to dude.
Yeah, my question also would be like, okay, you're engaged now and all this stuff and blah blah blah. Right? They're engaged?
Yeah.
So if he told you back then, would you still want to be in the relationship?
That's a good question.
If the answer is yes, then what's the big deal? If he clearly doesn't think that it's a big deal or wasn't a big deal at the time, and if he, as long as he didn't go back and like I guess erase specific things, like he hasn't done it since then.
Yeah.
So you know, it's like one of those things like he was doing it when he was single, or you know, when they first got in a relationship, decided that he probably shouldn't be doing that anymore now that it was getting more serious, and he stopped.
Yeah.
But if you weren't comfortable being in the relationship, if he told you that, then you should have asked, you know, if you take like nude photos, and then if that's the case, then just leave them.
That's fair. That's fair.
What's your assessment on the whole sitch?
My assessment to this is my same assessment to like 90% of these things is why are you asking a columnist when you can be talking to him about it? That is problem number one to me. If you are engaged, you need an open dialogue here, right?
Yeah, agreed.
So if you think he did something wrong, it doesn't mean you have to have a screaming match. Sit down and say, "Hey, listen, I found these things. What happened?"
That's what makes me think that she was snooping Tim.
You know what? I am that is a little bit of a thing there.
Because there's a guilty conscience now. Because what reason did you have to go looking in there? That's like when people find stuff like those people that can't help themselves and they go digging back through someone's Facebook or something, and they find like 7 years ago they talked to some girl that they don't like or some guy that this guy didn't like. And then it's like they don't know how to bring it up because they should have never found that in the first place.
Yeah.
So there's like a guilt level to it where it's like, part of this is my fault because if I didn't snoop, I wouldn't have found it.
Like I know you're wrong, but to tell you, you know I'm wrong.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, yeah. So I see. It's making me think that. That's a good point. I didn't think about that, but that's making me think more now that she was probably just doing a little. It might have been like
you're also a little jaded. No offense, there, buddy.
100%. But I don't really think I've ever had people do that because I've never been that kind of guy.
Yeah.
But like I just.
Well, you don't know that you ever had someone do that.
No.
If they never found anything, there's no reason for them to admit it.
No. Like, but I don't go through someone, like, if I have to go through someone's phone, I think that means the relationship's over. Or, like, someone's, like, personal belongings. Like, if somebody went through my personal belongings or my phone, it's over. Like, you shouldn't do that. You should either trust the person or leave them.
Dude, you just got really loud.
Oh, sorry. I literally didn't raise my voice.
Dude, I had a guy try to do that with me once in front of me. Like it was completely normal. Like he picked up my phone and like started opening messages and was about to go through them. And I had nothing to hide. I had zero to hide, but like I took the phone away from him and like in my head, I'm like, yeah, this is like immediately I'm like, this isn't going to work.
No.
Like we had only seen each other a couple of times. Like
good. That's the best time to find out.
Yeah, buddy. All right,
but so like, you don't know what if he opens up a conversation between you and your brother about some shit between you two or something? It's not his business.
Exactly.
So anyway, all right. So what's Abby's take?
If the photos were taken before you and your fiance were exclusive, I doubt you have any reason to worry. However, rather than ask me if you have anything to be concerned about, any questions you have about his dabbling would be better addressed directly to him.
That's the advice that you give.
Thank you, Abby. Thank you. Her advice is, why are you writing me?
I like, dude. I love how like I wish all of hers were like this, where like she just redirects it and it's like, pay me my money. Why don't you ask him $200, please?
All right, dude. Any
Yeah.
last thoughts on these?
I don't think so, man. I think we got a lot solved. We're for not being doctors.
We're solving the world's problems here.
Well, at least these two people, Riley or Brenda, and
The girl who was not photographed.
yeah, the one that didn't make the cut for the photo shoot. Ooh, wait, that is a last thought, Tim.
What? Ah.
Do you think the girl in the picture? Do you think she thinks she's prettier than her?
Well, if she was never photographed, that would be my most immediate question. Why wasn't I photographed?
So now it's not really about the photograph.
No, all right, we're going down a bad
Yeah,
path.
we are. Let's get off of it quick.
All right, everybody, let us know what you think of these topics in the comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that little bell notification so you get all of our awesome podcasts. And last but not least, of course, go to brodownpro.com. We have new stuff coming out all the time and all your favorites on t-shirts, bags, hoodies, all that good stuff. We will catch you guys next time.
Be good.
You're listening to Bro Down Podcast all fucking day. Oh.